We were out here. We were sitting. It was about a little after 9:30, almost 10 o'clock. And we saw the object come up, my wife and I. We saw the object coming up this way, up the river. And it was about maybe 900,000 feet above the water. Just a disc of whitish light. And then it kind of rapidly gained altitude, going up an apex of a triangle, if you don't understand. And then we lost sight of it for a moment. We both stand outside the car. All of a sudden, right over this area, a big light, just a light that was coming straight for us. Our car was parked over that direction. And we got frightened. My wife got frightened very much. And we just left. Patty was home, I believe. Yeah, our daughter was sick, and she couldn't go to church. So I got in my car to go to church. And I'm driving down Dorchester Road. And since that last Friday, and I had kept my camera in my car fully loaded, I wasn't thinking about UFOs. In fact, I was listening to some hymns on the radio, Christian hymns, just minding my own business when this thing shoots across the road. Silver, with a halo of light on the bottom. It was the most pretty thing I ever saw. At first it was silver, pure silver, and then it just changed like somebody got a red stat in a diamond and turned it. Bright skin. This thing was going up this way and back this way and back this way. And getting so precise in its movement. That's where I determined my mind, triangular pattern, because it went up like a triangle and then stood up and down this way. And I don't know the purpose of it, maybe to attract my attention. I don't know. Like I say, I was at work, and I left work, come home, was on my way home. And on my way home, I had that thought. It was like an impulse telling me to, go somewhere. And I started to think, where should I go for myself? And then it was like in my mind, I got a mental picture of this area. And I knew it was near the air base, and near where everybody parked. Got back here, and I went back here 10 minutes, and I could see the object. I don't know exactly where I saw it first, but it circled the area, and I saw it. And the first thing I noticed was it was much smaller. I mean, it was, prior the other ones were anywhere from 40 to 65 foot in diameter, but this one was 20, 30 foot. And another thing was it was very, very different. It was different in the sense that instead of being orange and silver, it was just like a silver metal appearance. Yeah. And not only that, but it had two domes, one of them on top of the object and one of them underneath it. But it looked sealed in metal. In other words, you didn't see no windows and no holes and nothing. No windows? No. Oh. You did not see any windows. It was just surface metal all the way around. Almost like sheet metal formed into the shape of a disc with two domes. One on top, one on the bottom. How was the dome? Was it transparency? No, it was solid metal with the rest of the disc. And it was all colored silver with the sun shining off it. I mean, it was just beautiful silver like aluminum or sheet metal. How did it fly? I don't know. I did not hear any noise. In that sense, it was like the other objects because it made absolutely no noise. I mean, it would go up like this and come back like this. Come around like that. And just watching it was, it was hard. Because when it would go that way, I'd run across the field, and I was trying to get it in the viewfinder. And I took about 4 or 5 shots like that. And I believe 2 or 3 of them came out, and 2 came out empty sky. The thing was 1,500. At one point, I'd say about 2,000 feet above the ground, 2,000 to 3,000. And from what I've talked to radar people, they say the radar will pick up anything as low as 800 feet. If they find it at 1,500, they'll sweep the area and then come back and sweep it, try to get the lowest sweep possible in order to detect the object on radar to get an echo fix. And if that was able to happen, well then obviously somebody over there saw something. Next day, I got a phone call from the Air Force Base telling me to come out there and see a Captain King. He was interested in seeing my photographs. I went out to the air base with my daughter in the car and got in there and got to the gate, and the guard didn't know what I was talking about. He said, well, Mr. Herrmann, it's 5:30 in the afternoon. Our information officer has been off duty since 12 o'clock. I said, well, somebody called me at 3:30 and told me to come out here by 5:30. And he said, well, wait right here. So I waited, and finally, about 20 minutes later, up drives this station wagon, out gets this fellow in civilian clothes, walks up to me and says, hello, I'm Wade King. What can I do for you? And I said, well, sir, somebody from your office called me and said you were interested in seeing my photographs. He said, what photographs? I said, the photograph of the UFO I took. He looked at me and he says, wait right here. So he went to the guard shack. 5 minutes later, up walks the guard in uniform with a sidearm, puts his hand on the window of the car and says, are you military? And I said, no, sir, I'm not. He looked at me like I was born yesterday, and he said, well, let me tell you this. He said, why don't you turn the photograph over to the captain and let him take it from here? So just turn the negatives and the photos over to the captain and let him take it from here. And I said, to myself, I said, I was not born yesterday. I said, listen, I'll compromise. I'll give you a photo, and you tell me what you want to do with it. Do what you want. Anything that you think you can help me find out what this is. He said, well, we'll certainly do that. Thank you so much. And he wrote his name on I.O. Bill Herrmann, one card, one photograph, and he handed me his card with that written on the back. I took it and I left, thankful I wasn't military. So I took these photographs back to the information office to get my photo back from the captain. The minute I walked in his office, he was bright, face, cheery attitude, and got up and said, hello, Mr. Herrmann, how you doing? I said, fine. He said, let me tell you, we put it through our information channels, and this is what they told us. You photographed an F-4 Phantom flying at 5,000 feet. That's what you photographed, Mr. Herrmann. If you look here, pointing to that picture, he said, if you look here, you'll see the stabilizer and the back tail, and you can even, if you look close, you can see the exhaust. I didn't know what to do, so what did I do? I pulled out my blow-up, and I said, tell me something, and put them down in front of him, the same exact picture, and I said, does this look like an F-4 Phantom to you? And he looked at it, and he kind of went like this, and he says, now listen, he says, if I was you, I just forget you saw it. So I didn't know what to do, and finally, I didn't have an opportunity to take any more photographs, and I didn't know where I should, how far I should get involved in this. My father said, well, if it is government, you're going to find yourself in over your head, and they're going to do everything they can to discredit you, and they're going to hurt you, and you're not going to get, you got to think of your family and all this. I said, well, maybe I should. I got a phone call about, I think it was 2 o'clock in the afternoon from a gentleman who identified himself as Tom Olson. He was in town from Riderwood, Maryland, to investigate the UFO sightings and the earthquake phenomena in Charleston, which has been going on, roughly since October of '77. And he told me that he was here to investigate this. He was going to take some photographs of the areas where all the UFO sightings had taken place, and that he was going to make available to me copies of the information and his conclusions and findings. He talked with much authority, a great grasp of my naive knowledge of the subject, and suggested could we meet. About 3:30 he arrived at the house. He had a Maryland driver's license with his picture on it, and then he showed me a retired military ID card, and I believe it said United States Air Force retired. And then he showed me a Social Security card, and then what they call the UFO Information Retrieval Center ID card, which was a long title, but still, it was, with a picture and with a thumbprint on the front of it. Got in the car, and I had my pictures with me, and I said, here, would you like to see the photographs? Because I was impressed with the photographs as far as, here's something that shows I'm not hallucinating. What do you think it is? He brushed them aside and said, we'll look at those later. Tell me about your experience. I told him. I told him about the earthquakes. I told him about seeing the object. Told him about photographing it. Told him about all the people I've found it who have seen it. The strange things affiliated with it. The reaction to the military aircraft over the field and cross-country road. He said, well, how do we get there? So we went there. And first we went to Beef Ferry, where the objects hovered over the towers and moved in triangles. He took photographs. He took at least 40 pictures at each site. A whole row of 35mm film at each UFO site. He took one picture of me at the first site, and that's all the pictures he took of me. But, what do you think about taking a polygraph test in relation to this? And I'm sitting in this car, and my first thought was, wait a minute, you haven't even seen my pictures. Why do you want to know this? You know, but I was afraid if I stopped in on the spot. I was afraid if I said, no, I won't, then he'll just, you know, he'll go to the press, and next thing I know, I'll be on the front page of the paper, big hoax, you know. Then I was afraid, well, if I said yes, it'll get twisted. I'll tell the truth, but they'll say I lied, and then it's their professional credentials against me. And I didn't know what to do. Being naive as I was, I said, okay, I'll do it. Now, I assumed at that moment in time he meant 3 weeks from now, 2 months from now, a couple days from now. He said, okay, we'll go to the hotel and do it right now. We walked through the door, and I'd never been in the Mills house. And I was stunned by the beauty of the inside, the big chandelier and the beautiful furniture and the different adjoining rooms, and the soft music playing in the background. And Mr. Olson, he looked at me, he said, this is a nice place, isn't it? I didn't know where I was going, I was just following him. And my thought was, well, polygraph seems to me they've got to have a certain place they got to operate it. And I was assuming there's got to be somebody else with him, but I haven't met them yet, and I don't like this. I don't understand what's going on here. You know, seems like there's something not right here. But I wasn't going to blow the whole thing and walk out. Say, no, I don't want to do this now. The elevator went to the 5th floor. We walked out of the elevator, walked up a little hallway in front of the elevator till we got to a big hallway. And we took a right, walked all the way down. It seemed like a long walk. And we turned right again, walked up another hallway till we got to the last room down the hall. And the thing I didn't like about that room was it was separate from the rest of the room. It was like a little box closet. I heard him tap on the door twice. The knob turned. I walk in the room and there's 2 other people in there. And one of them introduced himself as, he kind of mumbled when he introduced himself. I'm Dr. Blah. He shook my hand. The other fellow says, no, I'm so-and-so with the Riderwood, Maryland Polygraph Association or something like that. He said, well, sit over here. And it looked like a flat machine, looked like a briefcase almost. And when you open it up, there was like a polygraph. The polygraph machine itself. You know, there was all kinds of little wires running out of it. He did not ask me to sign anything, which I felt, not that I wanted to sign anything, but something in writing to protect my rights, you know. But even when that thought crossed my mind, I dismissed it. I was manifesting naiveness. I wasn't scared as much as I was, I don't like this. You didn't even tell me there were 2 other people here. You know, and I was wondering what was going on, but if this is the way they operate, well, maybe I'll just sort of go along with the tide. But when the doctor, that guy who identified himself as a doctor, walked over to the bed, picked up a black patch doctor's bag, and pulled out a hypodermic needle and a little syringe, put them together, and then reached in the bag and pulled out, looked like a greenish liquid. Put it into the needle. He said, this is going to relax you. Now, I was scared. I wasn't afraid I was going to die. I just didn't know what he was going to put in me. And I started, my voice quivered, and I asked him, are you sure that won't hurt me? He said, no, Bill, this isn't going to hurt me. And I rolled up my sleeve, and he punched me right here. And I saw it go in me, and I sat there a minute waiting for me to die, and I didn't die. And I sat there, and I felt very, very relaxed. Very relaxed. And he started asking me questions. Did you see a UFO? And I said, yes, I did. And the doctor, the photograph guy marked something. He asked me another question. When you saw the disc, did it change color? And I said, no, it didn't. Because it didn't. And he marked it. And it seemed like his hand moved slower that time. I didn't realize it, but I was getting sluggish. I was getting more relaxed. I didn't realize it. And he asked me the third time, and it wasn't like I was in a trance, but I was just totally relaxed. And then he asked me more questions. He would rephrase questions, ask the same question and rephrase. Now this went on for, oh goodness, it seemed like an hour and a half, until finally he said, that's fine. And he put down the thing, set it down, and he said, okay, I'm hooking. And I was drained of energy. I mean, I was literally, oh man, tired. He said, well, go in the bathroom, wipe your face off, put some water on your face, and relax. It's over, don't worry. And I was in there and I did that, and they conferred for a moment. I didn't hear what they said. I could hear them mumbling each other, and I didn't hear what they said. But because I had the door half shut. But the minute I came out, they all walked away from each other. Tom Olson said, okay, Bill, I bet you're starved. And I remember saying something about, not really, I'm more tired. So we left the room. Went downstairs, got in the car. Says, you sure? I'll be glad to take you anywhere. I hear they got good she crab soup at the trawler. And I said, no, Tom, I'm about to drop. I'm tired. Take me home. He said, okay. He said, listen. He said, you'll be hearing from us for the results of the polygraph examination. He said, either way, you're going to hear from us by at least Wednesday. So we drove home, and we hardly said 2 words on the way. I was tired. I didn't feel like asking anything. We pulled into the yard, and the minute I opened the door, the cold air hit me. And I was, cool air hit me, and I was, refreshed for a moment. I said, tell me something, Tom. I said, where do you think this thing is from? I mean, it's military, ain't it? He said, who's military? And I said, our military. And he said, I wouldn't bet on it. And the way he said that, I'll never forget it.
One week later, Bill received a memo from Tom Olson asking him to fill out a questionnaire and send copies of his photos to the office in Riderwood, Maryland. Shortly thereafter, a mailgram arrived from Tom Olson. The message thanked Bill for sending the material. It was friendly, but contained a disturbing reference, which read, I did not visit you. It was someone else, and I have no idea who. Signed, Thomas M. Olson, President, UFO Information Retrieval Center, Riderwood, Maryland.
To this day, Tom Olson, in Riderwood, Maryland, swears up and down he's never seen me, and I believe him. I believe him with all my heart. This is not the same Tom Olson who lives in Riderwood, Maryland, and is a UFO Information Retrieval. Now, see, this guy didn't identify himself as president of the UFO Information Retrieval Center. He just is a member. The real Tom Olson is the president of the UFO Information Retrieval Center. Right.
I've seen him before.
Okay, see? And that's
and then, you've never seen that,
yes, I saw him one time after that when I worked at J.C. Penney's. It was late at night, about 9:30, and I was dumping the trash out and cleaning up where I worked at J.C. Penney Auto Center in Charleston Square Mall. And I opened the back door, and here's his car sitting back there. So, when I walk out of the door, the car just swings around, pulls up to the back, says, hello again. And I looked in the car, and there's this guy, Tom Olson. Now, I had knew that he was a fake. The first thing I did is I said, now, who are you? Are you masquerading as someone else? And he looked at me like, just brushed it off and said, it's for your own protection. You should know that. Or something to that effect. Oh. He said, you should be careful what you say and how deeply you get involved in these things. He just told me about being careful who I talk to. It's for my own good, for your own safety. We're watching. We're aware of everything and all this. And I told him to get out of here. And I said, I'm going to go call the cops. kind of laughed, and I started to walk and get his license plate number in the back of the car, and I started walking toward him. The car backed up. I walked into that car, just backed up all the way, and took off into the traffic. He got away so quick I couldn't even see the back of the license number. I couldn't even get no numbers or letters or anything.
Oh.
So when I started to walk behind his car to get his license number, that's when he took off.
And you never seen?
I haven't never seen him face to face again.
What do you think?
I think he's either CIA or I think he's part of some conglomerate that looks into these things for the government, off the record, and does it solely to either confuse everyone really involved in it or to discredit any people who come into contact with UFOs, I believe. I was talking with Harry Levelson over the phone long distance in New York. I believe he was at Omni offices at that time. Or I don't know if he was at his home residence. But anyway, in the course of our conversation, there was this noise, and it duplicated this way. And the phone itself in our conversation didn't start the minute we started talking. It started when we started talking about the UFO. It was like
Noise.
Just noise. Just a click, 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 clack, click, clack, click, clack, click, click. You know, Harry says, "What is that?" And I says, "I don't know what it is." And he says, "Well, listen." And so we listened some more. And finally he says, "You know, I know what it is. Somebody's listening in on us, and now they're disturbing us." And we talked in spite of it. And it still kept on going. Until it finally just stopped when we were talking. So I don't know what it was.
Here's another strange thing. Harry Levelson came down to visit Bill, and he made plans to come down with his girlfriend, telling nobody in the office where he was going on a weekend, and arriving quietly and unannounced. They arrived in Charleston, checked into the motel, and 15 minutes later got a telephone call from a lady who said she worked for a television station, wanted to interview Levelson on his visit to Charleston.
Who do you think they are?
This is not the first case that we have investigators alleging that they are somebody else, false identifications. It comes up quite frequently. I have got to believe anybody that is that well equipped and has that many apparently valid identification cards is coming from an agency, a covert agency that is able to do all of these things and adequately financed. And I can only think of one that comes to mind right away, and that would be an intelligence organization. And the only intelligence organizations we have here are government.
You want to see these things?
Yeah. Those pictures were taken, some by the gentleman you're talking about, and some by his mother, were they not?
Just by him. Him and his wife. I don't know which one of them took. His mother was, I think, his or her mother was kind of old, and she didn't have any photography stuff.
Did they ever see the spacecraft on or near the ground?
Well, just right over
These
the house.
people, just over the house.
Yeah, just flying. You know, there's a lot of pictures here. As far as I know, no one has ever seen these photographs except for the people I've described. Here's like this one's flying directly over the house.
Right over the house.
Right over the house. Here it is with the top of the capsule raised. He said that capsule went up and down on top.
Changed elevation. Sometimes it was higher, and sometimes.
Well, you see in this one, there's no top to the thing. This is going over the house also. This is the same photograph, but it's further over the house. See, it's going over the house, and he took another picture as it got over the house.
That's interesting.
And then as it went out in the field, it elevated this little thing on top, a bubble on top.
That accounts for some of the changing shapes that we get reported.
And here's one again in the open field, just over a cornfield, way out over the trees. He said the motion pictures are extremely good. He said they were real good.
Imagine that. Right.
But because they got it going over the house and in the woods and out in the field and all that kind of stuff. You know, they said they were tremendous pictures.
Is there any way we could get?
Could you give us his telephone number again and let us call and introduce him?
I won't unless I call him. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you.
We'll pay for the call if you call him and ask him if he will talk to us. We'll give him a control name. We won't reveal his identity or location. We can promise all of those things and give proof of it.
These are just photographs that you can take pictures of. Like this is one that's going into the trees and going a little further and so on and so forth. And because of his wife, I don't feel like
he'll ever do anything as long as he's living. Because she is still terrified.
Yeah.
Totally. And they're very nice people. And they're very rich people. Okay, so it wasn't a case where they couldn't protect herself with money or anything. They could, but they haven't seen the bother. They're still scared. He said, and eventually, these people are going to contact you. He says, if you start this thing up, they're going to contact you. He says, and I know what I'm talking about. I've talked to other people who've been through this thing. He says, that's the reason we're totally silent. He says, so if you want all the publicity and all the headaches you can ever get, you start revealing this. And now I don't know whether I should have listened or not.
Well, approximately 4:20 in the morning, I was awakened by a sound. I thought it was a helicopter crashing here in the backyard. And, I woke up and the whole entire inside of my house was lit up real bright, and outside real bright. So I finally got to the window, in the bedroom window, and looked out, and didn't see any crash of a helicopter. First thing I seen was this most perfect flying saucer you had ever see. And I never believed in them, but I've seen that one. I believe in them now. But it was over the whole structure of these pine trees here. Where right here, it's about 70 foot in circumference, approximately 2 stories high. I viewed it for approximately 3 minutes. But in turn, I had a broke leg, and I grabbed one of my crutches and finally hit my wife in the leg and got her awake. And then she got to the window, and she said, "Oh my gosh, how beautiful!" So it was sitting there, hovering over these pine trees, and as it was hovering over the trees, it was still floating, just up and down motion, clockwise, just like that. Then when it got ready to leave, it just turned up, tipped up on edge, and just went off like a streak of light. The saucer landed in his front yard, came down in his front yard. They went to his house, and he drew this sketch.
Yeah.
And about an hour and a half later, the Easley Sheriff Department called me and asked could they come down and me draw a sketch of the saucer that was here in the backyard. I said, sure. So they came down, approximately an hour and a half. I drew this sketch here of the saucer. Yeah. And not even seeing this, as I drew mine, they compared it, and you see how close they are. Right. And they didn't even, I didn't even know that they had a sketch.
We didn't know nobody else had seen it.
Didn't even know anyone else had seen it.
The UFO bore a striking resemblance to the object filmed earlier by the television columnist.
There were 17 people in all.
17 people gathered here before
Counting
the thing.
the deputy sheriff, 4 deputy sheriffs, and our family, and those neighbors and next door neighbors. There's 17 people in all. As daybreak came at 5 after 7, that's when it got up yonder real high, and it was still bright.
And then all of a sudden, it left, and it was cloudy like.
Just in this area. Just in this area about through there, from where it left, it was cloudy as it could be, just like it's coming up a rainstorm.
Was there any odor or smell of any kind?
No smell, no odor, no smoke. These trees, nothing moved when it was there or when it left. Everything was perfect.
I could see windows, but the windows were black.
Black.
It was just all white, and the windows was blacked out. It looked like.
Have you seen the UFO before?
No.
Have you heard of that story?
Yeah, I read magazines about the guy.
Well, you're interested in?
She is. Yeah. She's the only one that's ever believed in them or liked to read about them. And my sister, she reads about them, and she loves it. She believes in it. We'd make fun of her, and she would give Nancy her books, you know.
Got the UFO magazine, and I would give it to me after she finished with them, and I'd read them. I'd say, Mama, look at this, and she goes, I ain't fooled that. I don't believe that stuff.
I didn't.
How about you yourself?
This was the first time.
I see. And before then,
I didn't believe in it. No.
How about you?
No, I didn't believe in them. Like I tell you, I didn't believe they even sent men to the moon. I just never could get it in my mind and believe that mess. But I believe it now. And this saucer here, it didn't come from the United States. We brilliant, but I don't believe we're that brilliant to have something that beautiful. Not a structure like this was. I believe it comes from another planet. height nor depth nor soul can reach to separate us from the love of God in Christ Jesus. For God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son. God, get a hold of yourself.
Relax.
Now,
Relax.
it's over with, Bill.
Bill, look at the picture on the television set. You are watching a rerun of what happened to you. You have already experienced those emotions. You don't have to do it again. You don't have to experience panic again.
Okay. There. What's that? A car. There it goes. I gotta get out there. Do I go or don't I? I'm going. It's now or never. I'll be here forever if I don't move. Lord, give me strength. I'm going now. I'm running. Tearing through the bush. Stairs. I'm on a road. Oh, thank glory there's a road. Highway. Street. There. There. Yes. Hey! There's a car coming. There's a car coming. Hey! Hey! Stop! Stop! Thank God you're here. No, it wasn't a car accident. Please, get help. Where am I? No, it wasn't a plane accident. You wouldn't believe me if I told you. Please, get a policeman. Thank you. I don't mean to scare you. Please get a policeman. Get help, please. Oh, thank God. What if they don't come back? What if they don't come back? Stop! Another car. Stop! Yeah. Stop. Stop. Yes. Thank you. Get a policeman. Yeah, that's right. No, no, no. You wouldn't believe me if I told you. Just get a policeman. Call him, please. Thank you. Two people can't distract me. Yes? They're back. Yes, they're back. My name is Bill Herrmann. What time is it? Where? I can't be. Just a minute ago it was 9:30. Where am I? Part of Charleston. What? Wait a minute. That means, oh my God, I can't be. Oh no. I was standing in Charleston at 9:30. I saw a light in the sky. It dropped to the river. I thought, Eric, who is? Yes, thank you. Thank you. Herman, call my wife, please. Thank you.
I just expected the worst. I didn't know what to believe. And he said he'd been in his yard in North Charleston, which is about 15 miles from here. And next thing he knew, he was here in this field near Somerville. Right in the middle of the field is where he said he came to. He said he doesn't really remember too much what had happened that night. He said he'd been watching a bright light that kept getting closer and closer. And the next thing he knew, he was here in this field, and He told me he believes he's been brought here by a UFO.
Listen to me, Bill.
And
Bill, you're floating now. You're back in the present and you're asleep. You feel very good and very relaxed. How are you?
Oh, I feel like I just slept for an hour. It feels so good.
Good. I'm glad you did.
The session had formed a bridge from illusion back to reality, allowing Junichi to probe for more information. He asked Bill what had frightened him the most.
What I can recall. The scary thing, the frightening thing, I guess, was the disorientation when I was released. You know, trying to comprehend where I am. I don't understand why they released me there. Why didn't they release me where I was picked up?
A concern of Junichi's was how would Bill cope with the reality of the experience.
I can't deal with this for the rest of my life. I don't know what to it's in a way it's strengthened my marriage, in a way it's torn my marriage apart. In a way it's gotten to the point where it's not so much an obsession with me as it is a preoccupation. And if I saw the object again, I'm naturally going to be inquisitive, but I don't know what to
you don't know what they think.
Right. And I don't know what, it seems like with all this information and all this in relation, it seems that, I don't want to get into a position where there's positive deception on their part towards me. I don't want to be used as some leverage.
There would be more sessions and more answers to troubling questions, beginning with, why did the objects perform triangular flight patterns?
The reason why they move.
The reason, I thought I got over that, is the reason that they fly in these triangles or they perform these erratic movements is because radar can lock on them, interferes with their propulsion somehow. I don't know the mechanics of it. So that would explain in one small area why the radar doesn't lock on these things, because of their movement. They come up the river and they're flying level, and then they just crease up. And the higher they get, the more starting this thing they do. But they seem inside the object to be able to stabilize everything inside so it doesn't tear itself apart like a jet would if it started doing these acrobatics.
Junichi asked if any of the objects had crashed due to radar lock-on.
I believe this was back in the 60s or 50s. That radar had interfered with the propulsion of one of their network vehicles, and that the object itself had to make what he termed an impact landing or a crash landing. Literally, they lost one of their objects. And not just the objects, but the occupants on board were lost as well. He said government authorities and got the craft itself, the occupants. As a result of that crash, they tried to make contact with the government, open contact. But it was suppressed, the way he said it. And it's maintained suppressed. By whom? I don't know. But the way he said it, Earth governmental powers. And that it was maintained suppressed. And they're just, in the future, when the threat of abuse can be removed, then they'll try it again.
When will it be?
I don't know. I do know that they said that the objects would be continuing to be sighted. Sightings would increase. That people would observe them in action. And that this was going on. It was going to keep going on. They have gone the route of selecting different people into populace and revealing themselves to them, I guess, and trying to establish awareness of their presence by doing that. How did they point that to?
Junichi asked Bill, why was he contacted?
It seems to be that they start out, just normal sightings. And if the person indicates a willingness of some sort, then they'll return. They said they have means to notify those they wish to notify. They told me that the field where I was released, someone else had been released in that field. I've been searching for who that person could be. Oh, I don't know.
The investigation would wind down, even though Bill continued to search for clues into his past.
after I recall what happened the first time in March, I was told by the occupants that they consist of a network of these objects that are operating around the world, presently in the continental Western Hemisphere, is the way they worded it. And they're from a cluster of stars 32 light years away, area in what we call reticuli, galaxy zeta reticulum, and that they were stellar astronomers, or that was their whole civilization. That's what they were geared to: stellar astronomy and life and study of life all across galaxies, and that they're a network sent here to initiate what they call direct observances, and they conduct inter-atmospheric flight and direct observance of people. What they do is they examine, they see the geographical spectrum. They examine the experiments that they conduct in what he called reverse osmosis and hydrodynamics. They conduct a lot of experiments over water. They conduct experiments in aeronomy and geodesy. See, these were things that came out after I was through Dr. Harder helped me a great deal by breaking that block that like I couldn't remember. No matter what I tried, I couldn't remember. So when I did remember, it was just like a water pipe that busted and water just